Speaking of success in singles competition, out comes our bizarre new acquisition, young John Inch. As you can see from that intro, he is a bizarre, eccentric young man, and if he looks very familiar to you, that's because he takes very, very heavy inspiration from Jack Stauber, a bizarre songwriter and artist in his own right. And as you can see here, John Inch has modeled himself basically entirely off of Jack Stauber, talking about his personality and even his hairstyle, his dressing, his clothes. He comes out here in a white t-shirt and a red suit jacket. As you can see, he's a very, very excitable young man. And I'm sure you are going to be quite interested in the type of wrestling style he has. As it's John Inch versus Max Harleton. Let's take you to the ring for that right now. Now, as I mentioned before, John Inch looks eerily similar to the music creator Jack Stauber, and that's because he is heavily inspired by the music artist Jack Stauber. And as you can hear, he is coming out here to Fighter by Jack Stauber, as when he debuted last time he had a match against Jason Vance, he came out to Inchman and had a different symbol of eyes starting at his entrance. He is quite the interesting and bizarre human being. In terms of wrestling style, he seems to use a lot of spinning maneuvers to disorientate his opponent. He's quite the interesting wrestler to witness. And apparently it seems like he's going to enter out to a different song by Jack Stauber every single time he comes out here, and wear a different set of gear inspired by that song. Well, I will admit, I do like this music a lot, but John Inch is very much obsessed with this type of music, molding his personality in the form of Jack Stauber.
In my 180 degree, double the gap and I'm a drinking on my side. Keep on carry on, won't start.
Starting here tonight with John Inch. And out comes the bizarre and enigmatic John Inch. And, well, I don't think I quite need to explain why he is bizarre. He models himself off the independent songwriter Jack Stauber. Excuse me, I'm just horribly distracted by this weird display of a human being. But he's heavily inspired by Jack Stauber and always enters to a different song by Jack Stauber. When he debuted, it was naturally Inchman. when he faced Max Harleton, which was the last match that we watched him wrestle in, it was Fighter. And in each of those entrances, he has an attire based off of that. And this time, I guess he's getting his mom on.
Hold you closer in a second. Something weighing heavy on my teeth. What's my deal? I'm just so glad that you're real.
Both of these men need it, but Wayne Watson, I feel like he's hungrier for it. Speaking of hungrier, as we come to know it, John Inch comes out each and every single time with a different Jack Stauber song. And this time he is coming out tonight with the song titled off of a coconut-flavored cookie, Coconut Ranger. And yes, I know how strange that sounds. I mean, look at this man. He's walking out with goggles that look like giant googly eyes, wearing a suit. You can't expect anything less from John Inch, but as weird as he seems outside of the ring, when he gets in that ring, he is absolutely a force to be reckoned with. And the things that he likes to utilize the most, he likes to spin around a lot with so many different spinning type maneuvers that just disorientate his opponents and make it that much easier to just knock them out like that. With such moves as Clockwork Energy, his Tornado Enziguri, and his Fireman's Carry Side Slam that he calls Oklahoma. And yes, those are all based off of Jack Stauber references.
Love Valley, hi, hi. Exactly. Oh, Love Valley, love. What you think? Life made you bitter. I can make you 10. Life made bitter. Can't make you 10. Get it done. Don't think it because we're licking his love.
And his opponent, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, he weighed in tonight at 175 pounds, the avant-garde, John Inch!
And speaking of entertainment, here comes somebody who sure does know how to entertain the crowd and get them up off their feet, the avant-garde, John Inch. And we saw here at the beginning of the show our promoter Neil coming out to his entrance theme. The crowd, wild as always here in England. And of course they're clapping along to John Inch's theme song choice of tonight, Al Dente by Jack Stauber. Now this will be a very interesting clash of styles between the brutal grappler and striker, Gary Frank Simpson, compared to John Inch, who wrestles supposedly just for the fun of it, and I can't quite describe what his wrestling style is, despite having commentated a few of his matches before.
I want to see it. Spin it up, lock it up, spin it up, lock it up. Spin it up, lock it up, spin it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, he weighs tonight at 175 pounds from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He is the avant-garde, John H.
Never have I seen somebody harbor such a connection with the British crowd such as John Inch, and he's not even from this country. You always hear every time he comes out the crowd clapping and singing along to whatever Jack Stauber song he enters out to every single match. And well, if you haven't seen John Inch before, he was on episode 5 against GFS, and it's kind of hard to explain who exactly John Inch is. Avant-garde is exactly the right nickname for him. Well, the only explanation for him I could give is he's basically Jack Stauber if he was a professional wrestler. He enters out to a different Jack Stauber song every single time he wrestles. Last time it was Al Dente, this time it's O.U.R. from the High-Low album. Such a bizarre and very popular wrestler here in Three Lions. Institute. We'll see how that plays out here in the Falls Count Anywhere match.
I mean, it's paying off for Grace. You got a paycheck.
What's expected of me? What's expected of me? Now it's colder than me. Let it all get away. Oh, what the hell did I do?
And here comes the avant-garde, a bizarre man that even I still couldn't tell you too much about the personal life of, despite me having commentated all of his matches since his debut in PWR. The only thing I could tell you is that he is a massive fan of the indie pop star Jack Stauber. He enters out to a different Jack Stauber song every single time he enters. Tonight is Dead Weight from the High-Low album. That's the bizarre thing about it. John Inch draws so much inspiration from Jack Stauber, but even the lyrics of Jack Stauber, you cannot decipher a meaning from. Everything about John Inch is just bizarre and avant-garde, hence his nickname, the avant-garde.
It's interesting here that we're seeing him take a slow and methodical pace.
Of course, he is
A little bit more of a theatrical piece of wear as opposed to Eric Lyons almost barely wrestling there.
and you can hear the crowd. John Inch has somehow captured the hearts of our crowd here in England, here in the sold-out O2 Arena. Many people here have come here to see the avant-garde, clap along to his theme songs, and just have a good time, and that's what John Inch aims to do, even having pyro here in the entrance. But that's all that John Inch aims to do. His only motivational matches is to have fun, but Harry Klein has had this odd mission he says himself to make John Inch open his third eye and see his true self. We'll see how that's about to...